Tonight, police dispersed protesters after declaring a riot outside the Portland Police Association building on North Lombard Street. This just after 10 o'clock tonight, roughly 1 hour after the group arrived there. They almost immediately started lighting these dumpster fires right outside the building. Welcome to KOIN 6 News at 11 o'clock. I'm Wayne Haverly. This is now night 73 of unrest. Both nights this weekend have ended in riot declarations. Last night's came after someone started a fire inside the Police Association building. Now, this is what it looked like from the inside of the building when that happened. You could see them throwing the fire inside the building. KOIN 6's Jennifer Dowling. She followed this situation last night, and she's on the ground again tonight. She joins us live with an update on the current situation in North Portland. And Jennifer, last night the riot was declared after they tried to set the building on fire. Was there any particular incident that started the riot declaration tonight?
I'm not sure if they were seeing something I wasn't seeing, but protesters did not break into the Portland Police Association building tonight. But police did see people lighting dumpsters on fire in the middle of the street. They also saw them dragging a fence into the street, which yesterday they did the same, and they said that is a criminal act. So I think that's what prompted them to declare an unlawful assembly. And very shortly after that, a riot and pushed people this way on North Denver. I want to point your attention to these barricades here. Neighbors tell me that these were put up in this residential area, in this little business district here on North Denver, in order to allow people to shop here in times of coronavirus. So this is a business district decision. Neighbors said these got knocked down somehow in the police response as they pushed protesters this way. And so we talked to June Walker, a neighbor here, and she said that a lot of the folks who were trying to put these back up, including some older residents who live here, and one of those residents actually got shot in the thigh by an impact munition by a group of police officers, and residents were very upset about that. Some of the protesters commented that they didn't know why they weren't hit, but this elderly woman was instead, or I should say older. She wasn't elderly, but an older neighbor who lives here, and she was bleeding. We saw that. She wanted some privacy, so we didn't talk to her, but it was kind of a serious situation for residents out here. Now, the evening started out peaceful Saturday night. That was another very active night, but after a march to the Portland Police Association on Saturday, that's when all those fires were started, and police and protesters clashed, leaving both protesters and officers injured this weekend.
Saturday, protesters took to the streets following a peaceful rally at Laurelhurst Park. Hundreds marched to the Portland Police Association building, where some people began blocking traffic with fences and built fires in metal dumpsters. While most protesters were peaceful, you could hear banging on the PPA building in the distance. And a woman frustrated with the dumpster fires began yelling to others to stop and was met with resistance. She explained that she'd been at protests for several weeks, but felt the energy should be focused differently.
You know, there's all this energy right now. I just feel like it should be harnessed in a more positive way. So I'm sorry for getting pissed off at the fires.
Police released the security video inside the PPA building when officers say windows were broken and people started a fire within the entryway. Minutes later, police declared a riot.
This is the Portland Police. To those there in the Portland Police Association building, this is declared a riot.
Police pushed demonstrators away from the building. Impact munitions were fired to break up the crowds, leaving some with injuries.
I saw it explode in my peripheral and my ears started ringing, but I felt a burn on my thigh.
This protester, who asked that we not use her name, showed us where she was hit in the leg.
And so I was headed north to obey their instructions, and they just started shooting indiscriminately at people, and you see I was shot here for essentially for nothing, for obeying their orders.
Several arrests were made. After the crowd cleared, you could see the hole in the PPA building. Medics moved in, assisting with putting out fires and looking at the injured.
Something exploded off of it and hit me.
Taking time to help the woman we talked to as well.
So just alternate between icing it and not icing it. Okay,
thank you.
As for the criminal activity, such as this building fire, she says she tried to stay away from it, but got caught up in the chaos anyway.
It appeared to be semi-peaceful, but then we saw other people maybe engaging in different activities that could be deemed a riot, so we kind of stayed back by 7-Eleven here, and then once we saw them coming, we decided to head this way. We're parked on the other side along Dong Feng, and we couldn't come this way because they ran from here and said go north, so we proceeded this way.
And back out here tonight in North Portland, you can see there's a few protesters that are still left on the streets. It's quiet here right now. A lot of the protesters have been broken up into smaller groups and are still moving around. Some of them asked me which way to Kenton Park just a few minutes ago. So they're trying to reunite, but it is quiet here for now. And last night, police tell us that there were 9 arrests made. We also saw a couple tonight, and they said yesterday that 3 officers were injured and treated and released from the hospital. Back to you, Wayne.